This is the examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski.
And it is a suspended Florida attorney who's now been charged with murder and theft in a tragic family drama. Well, this will make for a good Lifetime movie. Florida attorney who has been suspended from practicing law is now facing charges of murder and theft. Brandon Labiner, 34, allegedly stole $450,000 from his mother's trust fund and is now accused of killing his father, Paul Labiner, a lawyer whose bullet-riddled body was discovered outside of his law office. The incident took place in a complex in Boca Raton, where Paul Labiner's law office was located. Brandon Labiner was taken into custody and charged with first-degree murder after a family member found the body near the parking garage behind the complex. Boca Raton police identified the person of interest who had barricaded himself in a building. After calling SWAT team and a negotiator, the individual eventually cooperated and was arrested on an active warrant. The suspect was later transported to the Palm Beach County Jail, where investigators continued their interview and evidence gathering to determine his involvement in the murder investigation. Authorities relied on surveillance footage from various locations, which linked Brandon Labiner to the fatal shooting. The footage revealed that the suspect was driving near the area of the building around 2 p.m., later arrived at Paul Labiner's office on a bicycle, carrying a drawstring bag. The suspect was seen removing a box containing a gun from the bag. After placing the gun on the ground, he spent 40 minutes pacing around the parking garage, before picking up the weapon and waiting behind a wall. A second person arrived at the scene. A scuffle ensued between the two men. The suspect with the gun was then seen running away after disappearing from view. During the investigation, police discovered a gun cleaning kit and a piece of paper with an attorney's name in a trash can of a public restroom. Additionally, they found several items in the suspect's car, including a drawstring backpack, a firearm magazine, ammunition boxes, a gun box, a gas can, a lighter, gloves, and a face mask. Brandon Labiner made his initial court appearance in Palm Beach County, where he was formally charged with premeditated first-degree murder with a firearm, according to the records. Court documents revealed a contentious history between father and son. In September, Paul Labiner sued Brandon for $30,000, accusing him of stealing $445,198 from his mother's, Mindy's, trust. The father and son were partners at the firm Paul Labiner had established in the 1980s until June of the previous year, when Paul filed a civil suit against Brandon, claiming that his son's poor work performance caused the firm to lose business and accused him of theft. According to court documents, Brandon's work ethic were subpar, and his performance allegedly resulted in a significant decline in the number of cases, leaving only a few viable ones. The lawsuit also detailed instances of erratic behavior, including lying to Paul and clients about cases, a DUI arrest in Coral Springs in February of 2022, and attempts to access Paul's online accounts. There was even a physical altercation between the two, resulting in injuries to Paul, which led to Brandon being asked to leave the premises. Unsatisfied with his father's demands, Brandon Labiner reportedly broke into the office on June 1st, 2022. He stole computer equipment, hacked into his father's email, changed passwords, and took a business checkbook. The next day, Paul Labiner urgently requested the removal of Brandon Labiner as a trustee of the Labiner Slat Spousal Access Lifetime Trust. However, a judge determined it did not qualify as an emergency. As the trust's sole beneficiary, Mindy Labiner supported the removal of Brandon Labiner as a trustee due to concerns that he would misuse the trust and unlawfully take assets for himself and his spouse. Paul Labiner's daughter, Ariel N. Bergman, was nominated as the successor trustee. Within a few days of the petition being filed to remove his son as trustee, Brandon initiated the sale of business assets and misappropriated the resulting cash, diverting it into accounts benefiting himself and his wife. Prior to the legal dispute, Brandon Labiner managed his father's acquired personal injury practice, operating under the name Personal Injury and Accident Law Center. It's really creative in the name. Meanwhile, Paul Labiner focused on his estate planning, probate, and corporate practice. In April, Brandon Labiner faced a suspension from the Florida bar following his father's accusations, as the Florida Supreme Court granted an emergency suspension order. So this really, it sounds like a very entitled child,
Yes.
adult child that stomps his feet and eventually shoots people who tell him no.
It's like whatever he wants, he was just going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And not even working to help grow the business or anything, because of his poor behavior, he's ruining the business.
Yeah. Well,
and so I get why the dad would be pissed off.
Yeah.
But then I guess this kid's like, it's all mine. I'm entitled to it, and I'll kill him to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how that works. An individual who is going to do those sort of things, they're so narcissistic in their beliefs. They do not see whatsoever of how they've been damaging the business or just not doing their job up to a certain standard. They think that they can just do whatever they want, and they will slowly just suck the life out of everything. The father had no choice in any of this. And how do you escape something like this from going down as well if this is what your son is like and how he's going to handle it? You can't just go disappear and run away and hide. He knows where you work. This is your income. And unfortunately, put somebody into that position that really shouldn't be there.
And the guy, if he was a lawyer, he'd gone to school.
Mm-hmm.
He just did his job. He had a trust.
Mm-hmm.
He had all kinds of access to money, I'm going to guess. Just do your freaking job.
Yeah.
But instead, he stole over $450,000 out of a trust.
Yeah.
And then, how does he not think in the parking garage? Did he not look around for videos? Cameras?
As an attorney, I would think that you would have that kind of in your mind of hey, this is how a lot of things work. And just being involved in cases, the cameras come up and such. But I'm looking at a picture of him right now because I was just curious, what does this guy look like? And, he kind of has the entitled look to him, if there is such a thing. But he's also kind of got the dead eyes going on as well.
He could have played a role in Succession, the show.
I've never watched that, but yes.
But it kind of reminds me, they're just not good guys. And I haven't watched the entire series. Maybe they redeem themselves. I don't know. But at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because
well, when there's money involved, unfortunately, for many, money will outweigh family quickly. In some cases.
Started watching that one.
Yeah. No, and in some cases it will
it's just sad.
End very badly as it has.
He could have everything. He could have had everything. He could have worked not even really hard. It's not like you have had to work, or me. We've had to work for everything we have.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't.
No, it was handed to him. And then when someone said no, he couldn't handle that and melted down into this level of insanity.
Now he'll be in jail because they seem to have found quite a bit of evidence against him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine he's getting off.
The importance of telling your children no and what could happen if you don't. Just think of it. Next time you're at the store and the kids, can I get this candy bar? Even though you just bought them 7 other things that they asked for. And you can say no, because if you don't, it could end like this. Okay, maybe that's a bit extreme, but some people, when they don't have that conditioning, they can do crazy things.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member, exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast, dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.